Hello, hello, hello. I dropped that. Thank you for being here. Happy Sunday. Today is June 13th. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Blessings to everyone here. I feel like it has been a while since I've done one of these lives before. Please let me know down below. Where are you guys tuning in from? How are you guys doing? How's your weekend been? And another thing, how are the cicadas treating you? Or do you even know what I'm talking about? And so while I get the platforms ready, I'm currently live on Instagram at divine.cosmic.empress. And I am streaming from on YouTube as well as my Facebook channel page. And we are also on Twitch as well. So let me know down below with oh, thank you so much for all the waves and the greetings. Um, how is everything? How is everything? And the reason why I ask you guys this question, I've been having a lot of fun most recently. If you've been catching the posts on my Instagram page regarding this beauty challenge that we've been going through the series and the sequence of what we do in a primal yoga practice. And I found that it definitely helped me to reconnect in terms of really getting back into the foundations and really breaking down whether it be a pose or what that particular sequence is that we're exploring. And yesterday's was the grounding portion. Today I'm going to do a post for that surrendering part, which I think is perfect for today's theme that I wanted to bring to our attention. And I know that on Instagram we can't see the description that normally we can see on a stream, but let me go ahead and read that out to you guys. Today I wanted to come on here and talk about the topic of fear, and I put that in quotation marks, the feeling of fear and cosmic play. And the reason is because when it comes to fear, this has been, such a prominent energy that I've been working with in the past, perhaps month, ever since the full moon in Sagittarius. And we've had that full moon lunar eclipse back then, and then we just literally had that solar eclipse for the new moon in Gemini, which was like last week. And those are big changes occurring in terms of the karmic cycle, our identities. And I want to share a story that I actually had, not just from personal experience, but also with a beautiful soul client. I love this. A beautiful soul client that I had this morning with. And the discussion was how the sensation and feelings of fear come up. We might not in the moment understand logically why that is occurring. And so when we're going through these growth cycles and changes, especially if you're willing to accept that journey and path of self-empowerment. And I love that Millie says here, she's feeling blessed and unstoppable. Love that. And when we're on that journey, right, logical mind becomes clouded. It wants to understand, why am I feeling this way? But we have to come to remember that there's multiple facets of ourselves. We have the physical aspect, we have that mental aspect, the emotional, And then we have that soul, the spirit, right? And when we're undergoing these changes, it's very hard to logically understand these things. And I would like to bring this up in the form of the example of the work that I do, not just in my with my own self and with the works on a one-to-one client session. But I work in the aspect of what sometimes people call shadow work, looking at your hurts, your traumas, any stagnant energies that we might have been carrying on with us from like long time ago, whether it be from this current lifetime in childhood or past previous lifetimes before this. Um, and that is something where I find that a lot of the fear tends to come up, and it's hard to understand because the logical mind, the subconscious mind, it wants to protect us from these memories that might be lodged in carrying, right? And replaying a narrative that might be impacting us in the current present moment, whether it be through habits or reactive actions that we tend to take, right? And they might not be serving us anymore. And so I started coming into this acceptance because we are talking about the aspect of surrendering that, rather than attaching like a negative, because there's a lot of like negative feelings or language or misperceptions when we talk about doing this shadow work. And I started using the language now as why not call it? Because really all it is at the bottom, at the end of the day, is learning to work with and heal and nurture your inner child. Because essentially all these wounds that we are carrying and have been carrying for a while are really just wounds and hurts that we've experienced when we were younger. And so how can we understand that these are really just energies that are meant to be felt and experienced? Because the moment we dive deep and we're trying to understand it from a logical perspective, we might lose focus and get way into it in the sense that we reference gets narrowed. And I know for sure that I was experiencing this for like a while now. So that is why I took a break in terms of coming online and sharing any messages that I was getting, just because I felt like I needed to do my own work, my own reflection in order to share and properly guide anything of any worth that could benefit you on your journey where you are now. And so I I am calling it now this work of inner exploration. So we are not having resistances against it. Loving your inner child and loving your inner child and the work that I do with myself and with my clients one on one is to heal any limited beliefs, any wounds that we are carrying, anything that we haven't yet released, and to come and find a peace with our inner child within us. Because really, at the end of the day, you might be going day to day interactions out there in the workforce or out in the grocery store or at the gym, and you might come across someone where it could even be you, who is reacting in a way that just is kind of just energetically off for any other, any lack of words that I can input there. Um, and so when we tend to react, it's not that it's you, you might be reacting, or that person might be reacting from a space, from a wounded mask that they are carrying. And just to let that sink in, how many of you do your own like shadow work? But in this case, I'm calling it loving your inner child work. Taking some time to really draw within and set your own space to do reflective work on how are you feeling today? Because if we literally just took the time to carve out of our day to go in and see what it is that we need to meet our own needs, we get to really know ourselves at the present now and what it is that we need so that we can go out in the world and really show who we are at our highest vibration. And this is something that called to my attention to bring up because, again, experience is what I'm wanting to share. These past couple of days, I personally noticed it in my energy that the moment I let go more than one day go by where I don't wake up and do my daily practice of meditating, journaling, searching within any energy that I need to get out of the way, any misunderstandings that I'm carrying from the previous day, I feel it. I am not grounded. My thoughts are anxious. I am less confident, and my mind is everywhere. And I literally, yesterday, after leading a beautiful group of souls in a meditation class, and the very meditative practice that we did yesterday was exploring inner, our inner container, our inner frame. Your inner frame is your body, your vessel. And in this meditation, it's like, what are the thoughts, the energy, the emotions that you're carrying? And are they actually yours? Are you so ungrounded right now? Is it because it's actually thoughts that, thoughts or beliefs that are actually, this weight? And I want to get like a really physical example. I don't have anything. This big chunk of weight, and just imagine like bags that you're carrying over your shoulder. Are they even worth you lugging around? And just by practicing, it was a 30-minute meditation in which it was just leading them into a moment of stillness until they can receive at least 10 minutes minimum of quietness. And it was amazing to see how, by giving themselves permission, they were able to release whatever they've been carrying. And I needed to do that for myself after 3 days of consecutive not, returning to my own practice. And I felt it. And I was like, no wonder my mind was scattered. And so the work that these loving your inner child, loving you is a daily practice that even someone who's been on it can tend to veer off or get distracted. And so this is why we make ourselves priority first. And I wanted to share with you this quote and I'll post it on my stories, by at the Spirit Guide, where they said, choose your habits wisely. Because when you become conscious of what you're feeding your mind with, what you watch, what you eat, what you think, what you believe in, and you practice daily, it is slowly becoming you. It's making you. And you deserve to live a life, a mind, body, soul, free of garbage, free of toxicity, things that are not for you or things that are outdated. Because over time, your habits and the ones that become addictive and that overrule you, have a control over you. When we talk about habits are not conducive for your growth or your health, both in mind, body, soul, spirit, if you don't carefully observe them and question them, you won't be able to consciously create your reality in the direction that you're wanting. Because your habits are either making you or breaking you. And I was like, damn, that was spirit telling me, yes, you did the right thing you needed to do. You needed to step away yesterday after you served the collective in that space and just tune in, relax, do what you need to do to clear any thoughts, any worries. And so, what this goes back to is that feeling of fear. I was feeling fear, just like my client has been experiencing fear as well. And I'm sure, I don't know who down here has been feeling fear. If you have, send through a fire emoji, letting us know, we're letting each other know that we're not alone. And the feeling of fear can be an obstacle or it can be a blessing. And how can you distinct between the two is the fact that, and this did not come through on my own. It came through a friend who helped me to see this and piece it together. That fear in the form of an obstacle is when you feel it because it is an emotion and you're going to experience waves of these, right? If it stops you from taking an action forward, then it's an obstacle. So an example is if you're perfect case that it was illustrated to me is if you're applying for a job and you feel afraid because you feel you're underqualified, you don't have the degree, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, a list of excuses that come up for you, right? And you then it stops you from even applying, then it's an obstacle. It's an hindrance. Blessing in disguise would be, you know what? I might feel fear, but in this exact moment, I if I'm still willing to take a form of action towards it, then the feeling of fear is not the predominant emotion. And that hit home for my own personal life. And I wanted to share that because try to, you cannot logically process that. That's something that comes up through sitting with yourself, sitting with your inner child, if it's the inner child within you that is experiencing this fear, and try to kind of talk yourself down, soothe yourself down so that you feel more at peace and ease with the subject or topic that you are currently feeling these feelings around. And again, likewise, that emotion, if it's not fear, it can be any other vibrational energy, say sadness, grief, so that you can process it through and go through, um, get back into that state of equilibrium where you can move forward, feel that brightness, lightness. And I always like to say, use the term, so that you can feel the 100% version of you, whole, happy, healthy. And so this is a message that I wanted to share with you guys. Hopefully, I was able to convey that. And on this topic of loving your inner child and how to carve time for yourself and looking at the habits that maybe we let slip by. And this is why maybe I'm not feeling grounded and stable right now. I need to come back, or maybe I need to edit out the habits, right? Rewrite my draft and my narrative. Um, Today, not tomorrow. And you could begin with 10 minutes. Like you'll start feeling better and aligned. which is really important. And with this, I wanted to go ahead and highlight that on June 25th, in about 11 days, yes, on a Friday at 12:30 p.m. Eastern, a beautiful collective of healers and myself are going to be holding our first online virtual Festival of Light retreat. And it's going to go from 12:30 p.m. Eastern to about 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. I'll be leading the closing ceremony, in which um, the ceremonies that I love to do and I'm guided and have been taught to do are meditative journeys in which you get into a deeper subconscious, into the deeper layers of the subconscious mind, so we can activate your cosmic imagination, your third eye chakra. Um, when we talk about energy, working with energy healing. And we'll be really setting up I like to call it the activation of the light body shell or veil over you. And it's kind of like a nice detoxing meditation, so that if anything has been picked up, you'll be able just to replay it, because the whole retreat is going to be recorded. And if you purchase your ticket, you're going to have access to that and to all the other healing modalities that everyone who will be participating and leading will do for us. And so you're going to have access to that. And the link for that is in my profile, whether you're on Instagram right now, divine.cosmic.empress, or you're on my other streaming platforms. The link is down below here in the description. So you currently, if you purchase your ticket, again, we're doing like a retreat, 7 hours. You get a recording of every modality that will be um, led led through. Sorry, there was a moment of pause with the internet connection. And you get $11 off. And if you use the discount code Divine Cosmos, that is your key in. The other thing I wanted to mention, we're also offering freebies. I believe we're doing raffles. I'd have to double check that. But I know the freebie that I'm offering is actually in alignment with this very conversation about fear and how to handle that with cosmic play. Um, so that you're able to work with your inner child and love your inner child. And so I'm offering a recording audio file of meeting with your inner child and embracing them, sending them love, so that you can feel in alignment, so that you can remove and release anything that's been holding you back. And I'm just checking the chat right now. And if you actually just came on and joined us, I will be posting this replay of this live on the topic of fear and cosmic play, along with the announcement for the Festival of Lights that will be on June 25th. And really, that's pretty much my update for this month. I'm going to be more intentional about the messages I share, and really, I'm finding that the way I'm instructed to view it is really I work one-on-one with people who feel like they need to heal any traumas or any energy that they're carrying that's not allowing them to live a balanced life, or the life that you're desiring, or if there's a particular goal and there's something holding you back. Okay, well, we go back into your past and see what is it that we need to bring into healing acceptance, um, and so that you can move forward. And so I pray that you guys have a beautiful weekend. And thank you so much for joining me. And check out the links below. Satnam.